right, what's up, everybody? This is Jordan Rodriguez, your host here for the E.M.U podcast. Really excited to be talking with our good friend and buddy and overlord of Avagate and all the E.M.U things, Steve Douglas. How's it going, Steve?
You're too kind. You're too kind.
So we're here to talk about Cyber Week and all the craziness going on with that and how email is such an integral part of sales. And really, I guess, like where this kind of like crazy event that we see happening in all the advertisements and all the things in all our inboxes, how we can best kind of engage with these things and also look at some interesting statistics around this topic. So yeah, man, what do you think? It's coming.
Yeah, it's here. I mean, Cyber Week is now here. We're officially getting the emails, right? Like they're coming in. Holla yay, if you've gotten one of those.
Holla yay.
Anybody that's gotten enough emails in their inbox, they know what we're talking about. It's
100%.
flooded. it's in your inbox.
Yeah, like oversaturation is a problem, though, right?
It is. Yeah. But I think what let's start off with where we're at. Where this is what, Tuesday? I'm losing track of the week.
Right. Yeah, it is.
It's Tuesday. So we are 2 days away from Thanksgiving, 3 days away from Black Friday, Cyber Week Monday. Cyber Monday is obviously next Monday. So We're just kind of like looking at the trends that are in our inbox so far. And we're seeing some of the teams and clients kind of, scramble and be ready for this week.
Right.
And if they're scrambling, then they're not prepared whatsoever, right? So,
True.
It's what's interesting. Like, what's interesting is finding the clients that really have been prepared for this. Like, they know these are the biggest days of their year. Like, this is money making time, and they're ready for that.
Totally. And it's like, everybody sends the obligatory, Black Friday, Cyber Monday emails, but what does a really good Cyber Monday, Black Friday email look like? What's the difference between someone that just mailed it in and someone that really constructed like a sniper type email specific thing to really get and grab sales? What's the difference between those two emails?
Yeah, I think what's interesting is when there's a dedicated team towards making really good emails for their company or for their organization, where the agency is like, that's their sole purpose in that company's organization is to make really good email campaigns.
Totally.
They have done their research. They have done their testing over the year with the audience that they're sending to, and they know everything that makes you trigger, what makes you buy. They know the brand. They know the words that you climb into and say, that's it. I'm going to open that email today. I'm going to buy that whatever it is, that shoe that I left in the cart. I'm going to buy it because you said the right words today. They have done their kind of experimental tests over the year. And now it's time to really set those working A/B tests, which one worked best, and put it into this week's kind of, campaign. And to make sure that all the experiments that they've been doing over the year have been implemented and are now ready for execution. That's what a really good team tends to do. And it's not very common to see, but it's one that you'll see the personalization where personalization works. You'll see the discount code if it makes the most sense. But it's right. It's not like devaluing the company by just providing you a discount just to provide you a discount. It's a strategic play to say, this product has the right, we understand what we need to do to make this product move and how to make this a purchase online rather than a purchase in the store. So like buying a piano is a big deal, right? Like that's a big purchase. Right. So, and you want to play the piano on in the store, but how do you get that feel with going online and buying it and committing to that Black Friday price or whatever it is? Right. So that's, I think that's a lot of it. That's a big piece of it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. It's leveraging that relationship that the customer has engaged in throughout the year and using this as an opportunity to kind of pull the trigger and send some really hyper targeted stuff and try and recoup some of that that engagement that has happened. I think that's really insightful. Using this as an opportunity to cash in some of that engagement makes a lot of sense, rather than just saying, send an email out there, 20% off XYZ, Black Friday, and then move on to the next thing.
That's what most companies do, right? They just a shotgun approach. They shoot it, and it basically is. It doesn't look very great, right? Like you're not diving in your promotions tab and looking at your emails and seeing what really works. You're looking at the brand names this week. You're seeing what brands are coming up in your inbox and saying, this brand I like. This is a brand I'm going to buy in the next 30 to 60 days over the holidays. And so you're looking at the brand names more than you're looking at the subject lines. And that's kind of just what a customer does. They're flooded with emails. So they're going to look at, well, who's it from?
Right.
Some companies such as Kohl's, I'll name them out because I saw them in the inbox today. They use their from name as Kohl's Black Friday. So
interesting.
It's distinguishing that this is the Black Friday email that you're looking for from your brand.
Right. They send out a lot of emails, so they're specifically making some tweaks for this to stand out in the flurry of stuff. So that's an interesting thing.
I think that was a unique, distinctive approach that the others didn't do in the inbox when I noticed it. And we must note that it's still pretty early on. We're going to see many more emails in the next few days.
A lot more.
But I think that was one that I saw. I was like, okay, that's an easy one. You don't have to have all this research, all this experiments, and all this tests. But what you could do today is look at your own personal inbox and say, what really attracts you as a customer, and see if there's something that your brand, your campaign could be doing in a similar fashion. What can pop it out of the inbox?
Yeah, that's a good point. And to that kind of retrospective approach, for somebody that's listening to this post Black Friday, post Cyber Monday, they did their campaign and maybe they didn't get good results. And you can't see these kind of back end analytic driven approaches to email on the user side. What's some advice, or are some tools that can be implemented to kind of really make the most out of this time of year for a company?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it depends on your company, right? So you have to be aware of product levels during this time. Like, make sure you have in stock products during this time. So when you're sending a campaign, you don't want to be in mid send and your product's already out of inventory. That would not be.
100%. That's definitely a foundational level. Make sure you got the stuff.
So a lot of people are using like dynamic image tooling to allow them to purpose their email in real time. The whole email doesn't have to be image based, but just that certain level of where the product levels are important at that time, to make sure that upon open, the person's opening it, they're seeing what's in stock versus what's out of stock and unable to buy anyway.
Good point. How about on the technical side, for an email team that maybe is just, not or a digital marketing team that's more on the marketing side, doesn't have the capacity to kind of capture all this data that can specifically target people or retarget people via email. Are there some other strategies that they could look at, or maybe someone is really in this mode where they need to retool their digital marketing, their email marketing program? What does that look like?
Yeah, I think, and nowadays, in the way that we're sending emails, all tools are capable of a somewhat of a segmentation purpose. So they're all built kind of in the same way of narrowed lists, really focused messaging. So even not to say that this is a lower quality than the rest, but MailChimp is a very highly popular tool, but is capable of those filters and those campaign segments at great speed and great powers and a very low cost. there's certain tools that don't do as well with the building aspect in the email technologies, but I would say that there's certain levels of where the the tooling allows you to at least get you a segmented list that you can designate a message to and see if
Mhm.
that's what works as far as open rates. And then as you see those open rates working, you want to, send the rest of the crowd that same test message. So I think one thing you can look at is your size of your list. If you have about 100,000 is even a good list, 100,000 contacts that are going to open, that's a really, that's good. Now we want to know of that 1% of the 100,000 we know open, let's see if we can get the right message that makes that 9 out of 10 work, right? So you're sending to
Right.
1,000 people and you're wanting to make sure that your open rate percentages are great. So you're just testing your subject lines and making sure. And then when it's time to really send, it's time to send. And
Yep.
that way you're sending to your 99% with your right message and the right content and the right subject line that triggers everything to just metrically be gratifying.
Yeah. That makes a ton of sense. I mean, this is like we were talking about, earlier. This is like the Super Bowl commercial, like equivalent for email marketing, right? You have, television and, television commercial marketing, and this is like the super email week version of that, right? So like this is where emails kind of have their time to shine. Maybe you put a lot of extra money into your Cyber Week email campaigns, because I mean, quite honestly, people are ready to spend money, right? This is the time when people are going to be spending money. It's there's a lot of data too, like especially since the pandemic, like e-commerce has exploded, and there's more e-commerce happening on in Cyber Week, Black Friday than ever before. It's
last year was our biggest year of online sales during this time of year. It was the biggest ever in all time for online, which is to me incredible. I get that stat and that source from Wikipedia, and obviously research studies have been done around that. But and it really makes sense. This year is going to be bigger than ever too. Everyone's home. Everybody's shopping during work time these days. You used to get fired to shop during work hours, and now you can like work from home. You can kind of get your job done and at the same time watch some deals on your second monitor as they scan by. I mean,
totally.
people are into that kind of deal saving season, and the ones that are going to have those deals set on their tablets, on their phones, on their extra monitors, and they're going to be watching. I don't think email is going to be kind of a fire of all your products being sold. It's going to be more of like the deals are starting right now.
Right. It's the like sounding the alarm. This is happening, that type of thing.
Yep, that push message that comes to your phone is gold to a marketer, right? Like that banner that comes across and interrupts you in the morning and says it's time. That's the Black Friday like everybody's waiting for, and myself included. I'm excited about those things. I'm going to be on Best Buy, Amazon. My new favorite is AliExpress. I don't know if you've ever been on that. I am got a constant $100 order from AliExpress every month until the products come in store, and then I'm like buying again. I just can't get
really
away.
What's your order if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, it's all the text things. All the electronics. I got a couple E.M.U figurines that you saw when you were at the house. So yep. So there's just random things that you can get on AliExpress that you're like, nah.
Do they even do deals on like AliExpress is so cheap? Like, do they even?
Yeah, they changed their app on their phone. They really started pushing the push notifications through the app. The emails are coming in, but I can tell you that the push notifications, the app notifications are really what's rhyming me into like, okay, I'll take a look. I'll see what's there. I'm probably not going to get anything in time for Christmas. That's kind of the problem with AliExpress is it's kind of a slow shipping model. So
it's all from China.
Yeah. You just know that this is going to be more of a new year, new gifts type present is what that's going to turn out to be.
Right.
But
I mean, That's always nice.
My father-in-law, if he's watching, I randomly gave him like 60 gifts, like cost me $100, and they're just showering him at his doorstep.
Awesome.
So yeah,
so you like direct send it. That's a good idea.
Direct sending, and it's like he gets these little gifts. It's like, heck, it's like a pocket knife and a different things. Yeah,
your drip feeding presents. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, only for a few bucks, right?
It's like those things you get at Christmas. It's like the 12 days of Christmas, and you like pull out a chocolate each day, but it's like actual adult gifts, knives and cigars and weird
there was like the cigar
Bluetooth
accessories
dongles
and things like that. Yep. And it all came down to like $100 with shipping, and I was like, this is easy.
Very nice.
Yep.
That's cool, man. Yeah, well, there's all kinds of options, all kinds of fun stuff out there. And there's all kinds of days too, right? I mean, we talked about the two main ones, Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but it's Cyber Week, right? So there's like Small Business Saturday.
We know Etsy's going to win that one. Etsy, hands down, does the best campaigns around this time of season. It's feeling like it's family, it's fun, it's energy, and they also really hone in on that Small Business Saturday, because that's what they are. They are small business supporters at Etsy.
Yeah.
So
it's just this huge, just like community of small business makers, all that type of thing. Any advice for those guys, for those small creators, small businesses? What does this look like for them? Is it pretty much the same, or is there a distinct difference?
Yeah, I would say that the small business, so we're talking like mom and pop shops, like kind of mentality. I would say that those are going to be your social media kind of campaigns, right? Like those are going to be trying to really push to their personal audience that I have these gifts, and really say that they can deliver on time before Christmas. That's where those small businesses are going to win, because the shortage in supplies and all these other things that are during this year is on everybody's mind. Is there enough gift wrap paper this year? Is there going to be a shortage in gift wrap? That's a legitimate concern that some people have.
that is, sometimes it's those small things that you don't think of that end up messing up your workflow and last minute. Bummer. But yeah, that's good stuff. I mean, Small Business Saturday. What do we got? What else we got here? We got Super Sunday. What's that all about? Super Sunday after Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, more shopping.
They just had to put a label on it, right? Like I did some research with you on this before we started this podcast, and we looked up these days, and I'm like, what the frick is Super Sunday? Like it doesn't make no sense to us, right? Like
it makes perfect sense. It
makes perfect sense to a marketer, but it makes no sense to the non-marketer. Yeah.
It's alliteration. It gets me excited about spending money. And quite honestly, sometimes we just need something to spend money on, because
I feel like it should just be called Leftover Sunday. Like, hey, we're just going to keep eating this great deal of the week. Here's more. I think we all know this. Sometimes that food marinating in the fridge, it just needs that extra day, and it tastes so much better. It's true, especially the cranberry sauce, right? Like,
Oh yeah, and you like mix the cranberry with the turkey, and it like marinates. Is that my the only one that does that? Is that weird?
No, I think it comes straight out of Denny's and Waffle House. They do that, and they put it with French toast smashed together. It's the thing.
I'm here for it. I don't care. I don't care who knows it. Can't forget Giving Tuesday for the nonprofits. That's a good one. But and I'm sure there's a lot of emails going out for that too. But I think we're probably focused on the private or the for-profit market. That's mainly where we live.
Well, like when we do these podcasts, we prep, right? Like there's some prep work that we do in these kind of podcasts. And one thing that we should say is that, Giving Tuesday is kind of not as marketed as it should be, especially around this year and last year. So Giving Tuesday, I think, is where some brands can actually make some bigger strides to put a bigger push on it. And maybe it's not just on Giving Tuesday. Maybe it's every Tuesday going through the Christmas year that they just keep pushing that, like, hey, we're trying to do.
That's a pretty good idea.
Right. I think that would stand you out, right? Like that gives you a different brand perspective. Like, I don't want to be like the rest of us, like the rest of the marketers out there.
And, it almost seems like there's some good like partnership opportunities with the for-profit and non-profit realms to like say like, maybe a certain percentage goes to a nonprofit or like, I mean, that's touchy, but for like bigger companies, maybe there's some sort of like collaboration that can happen with that way. I don't know. Maybe, it is the holidays. The giving spirit is about maybe there's something out there.
And I think what's tough for companies during these times of days and the holidays coming is that their own employees are kind of in this like relax mode. And they're not going to be building new material over the next few weeks and trying to push harder. Most teams go on to like the skeleton team mode, and they're like, the campaigns that they have ready, they're prepped. They're just press send button. But I think that's as we evaluate, and that's the most important about this, is as we look at what the trends are this week and we see kind of the rhythm of companies pulling what they did last year and doing it again this year, I think that is a common theme that needs to be broken. And I think marketers should be challenged to think outside the box. And that's the problem, that a lot of what I've seen over the years is that the teams will just pull from what they did last year and just say, let's spruce it up with a new subject line maybe, and that's it.
Yeah, because it's like you always want to use your historic data like intelligently, but it's so easy just to fall back on that and say, it's the same thing. My products aren't that different. But what you're saying is like there's a lot of opportunity to innovate and be creative, right?
Right, exactly. And then also it's a time where the marketers can just push the bar, right? Like they can take it to another level of like, oh, you know what? Once we get to this new thought process, maybe we can challenge our manager and bosses to allow us to do a less of a discount and more of a new kind of way of attracting it. That way, you're actually producing more sales and profitability potentially than you are just giving another discount out, and a bigger discount just to give a bigger discount. That isn't not necessarily the strategy in how you grow a business and how you become profitable. You don't just give discounts to do discounts, especially because it's just Black Friday. But you're giving them strategically in a way that allows you to produce more revenue, more sales. And I think that one trick that we could all probably learn from here is, if you have the ability to look at abandoned carts that were not successful over the last year, and you can confirm that they didn't make those purchases in the last 12 months, it might be time to really push in those right messaging contexts to say, would you come back? Would you come back if we gave you, the right discount and the right price on a product that you kind of just were on the whim of buying back in the
day? Right. It's great points. It is definitely a point in time where every marketing unit of all these different companies have a great opportunity to make some big wins. So good stuff, man.
One brand that I'm missing this year out of the most is Toys R Us. I don't know if you've missed them, but I missed them.
Gosh, I mean, I can't say I remember or have any like memories of their emails, but that was like the biggest thing. Like thumbing through their ads back in the day, at the Sunday paper. That was like just eye candy.
Yeah, I guess you can't really do it. Like a lot of what parents do with their kids is they give them a magazine and say circle which ones you want, right? Right. With an email, you can't really do that, but you could do the screenshot and draw that with a pencil or pen. That would definitely innovate the email experience, which I think is what a lot of marketers want to do in these times, but they just don't know how to push those innovation markers.
How do you push those innovation markers?
I think it's just what we just collaborated on. Take a screenshot of this email, right? No one says take a screenshot of this email and say mark it up with your favorites, and then take it to the store, or take it to your clerk, and have that kind of online digital experience with a store as well.
That's a good point. Now, okay, this might be totally off base, but when you talked about that process of screenshotting it and like this kind of continuum, is there an NFTable thing in there somewhere? What about like NFTs in emails for sales? Is that a thing? Is that?
I don't know.
Am I talking crazy talk?
You're not talking crazy talk. I mean, the thing is NFTs to me and everybody else, I think a lot of us, we all saw it kind of like, what is this? It's going to be interesting. And then the headlines and all the news media just picked up on it, and it just got bonkers. I mean, really fast.
Yeah. Buzzworded. It's in the buzzword sphere now. We're not really sure what it is or how to use it.
But what's true, in large part, what we are seeing as marketers in the space and like digital creators of the space, especially around NFTs, is NFTs are being used as your passes to go to conferences in the near future. So you have to buy these kind of digital pass or digital events. Gary Vaynerchuk is a good example of this, right? He's created this conference that you go to, and you have to kind of use his NFTs to go get a VIP pass to his.
It's pretty cool.
And he's not the only one, but that is one prime example I think a lot of people know and you can look at. I think that there's
early adopter, definitely early adopter.
Yep. Jason Bear has got his own coin or token that he's doing really well with. It started off, I think, at like $4 a token to now like $50 a token.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's just about your brand and your personality. And if you're followable and you're likable, you're going to create value. And NFTs and email, it's you just have to create value. And I think that once you do that, it's inevitable that it will be there.
Any other topics that you can think of that we want to talk about before we wrap up?
If you haven't already, check out our email calendar. Because it's super powerful and it's valuable. And there's some podcasts we have about that topic and just that alone that we don't have to repeat everything. But that is a free resource on avagate.com and should definitely be checked out if you haven't seen it already.
Yes. If you had just headaches trying to coordinate your emails for Cyber Week, Cyber Monday, all the days, Black Friday, and you just like wanted to blow your brains out from doing all that, this is the tool for you. For sure, it will decrease the amount of meetings that you engage in planning all your strategy for email. We'll link the podcast for that with Ryan and I, where we kind of hashed out all the details in the description below, and as well as a link to download that calendar app. It's a free app, totally great. We posted it in the Email Geeks Slack channel, and people were going nuts. So good plug.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool. All right. Well, Steve, it's been great talking to you, man. We'll catch you next time. Adios. It's been a great episode for the E.M.U podcast, Email Marketing Understood. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Adios, amigos.